I am going to start a revolution.
She had an aggressive plan.
If their test scores did not go up, they were going to be fired.
To reform the worst school system in the nation.
I'm terminating your principalship now.
It seemed to work.
42% increase in mathematics.
But at what price?
You are not taking parent input into account.
It's not a democracy.
Michelle Rhee was the middle-born child of South Korean immigrants in Michigan, and her upbringing prepared her to be a key agent of change in the education reform movement. Given her formative experiences, this was no accident. She had an inner toughness that would serve her well in her future, as her mother notes that even when she was little, she didn't care what others thought of her. Keeping her humble, she often recounts her father telling her that she wasn't more talented or smarter than other children. These formative experiences primed her to see the injustices in education. As an undergraduate student at Cornell, she was inspired to join Teach for America, an organization that prepares teachers to serve students in vulnerable communities.
Morning.
Rhee began by introducing herself to students
I'm excited to be here today.
and teachers, giving them a glimpse of her forthright style.
I'm 37 years old, and no, I have never run a school district before.
Although Rhee had never run a school district, she had worked in school reform for 10 years and warned Fenty that sweeping change could be politically costly.
I said, you are a politician. Your job is to keep the noise minimums to a level and to keep your constituents happy. I said, I am a change agent, and change doesn't come without significant pushback and opposition.
The person who says that they're going to come in, shake things up, change the system, challenge the status quo, that's exactly what I want.
I said, what would you risk just at the chance to turn this school district around, to truly transform it?
Everything. I said everything. That one word.
Even though Rhee did acknowledge her limitations, key strengths can be identified in her top-down approach to reforming the D.C. schools. This includes command, shown by her bold decisions to cut spending and get rid of ineffective employees. Responsibility was shown by her commitment and sense of urgency to her cause, even at the cost of enrolling her children in the failing D.C. schools.
Shortly after her chancellorship position ended, Michelle went on to found Students First, an organization specializing in policy reform that reflected various aspects of the strengths-based approach. First was in the way that it supported reform that developed teachers rather than just trained them. They recognized that good teachers need organizational support and developed criteria that sought to attract and support professional development while rewarding and protecting highly effective teachers. The way that they pursued educational reform was also conducive to the framework for leadership development. In starting with mutual commitment, they focused on recruiting veteran teachers. There was an assessment of organizational requirements and sticking by their initiatives amidst criticism, and they conducted gap analyses through new types of teacher evaluations and assessments. They understood the value of providing feedback with data that showed great teachers leaving their positions because of lack thereof or needs-oriented feedback. This served to create parallels with the components of what an effective leadership system is. Students First looked at the performance improvement or best practices to create an evaluation structure that understood what outcomes to measure. Within their site, they have a blog that highlights especially effective teacher and leader development. There is a somewhat recent post on how Title I teachers have benefited from selecting a bi-monthly coaching and development program. In somewhat recent news, Michelle has since stepped down from Students First, but her tenure there has had lasting impact. She has backed strong reformers, embraced a bipartisan approach, introduced the state policy report card, and garnered new voices in the reform movement. Currently, she is involved as the chair of St. Paul Public Schools and on board of directors at Scott's Miracle Grow.